Megistus, the chief of staff for the nefarious secret organization Agastia, details the struggles faced by their rivals in contending with their own team of superheroes. To overcome this, the Monster Development Department hastily devises a novel creature resembling an elderly man donning a Nessie-themed mascot outfit while wielding a sword. Kuroitsu, feeling infuriated with her superior, Dr. Satomaki, is compelled to present an incomplete proposal to Agastia's board, hastily assembled at the last minute. Although Akashic appreciates the monster, Megistus promptly dismisses the suggestion. With limited time and resources to create another creature, Kuroitsu is reluctantly forced to don the Nessie costume herself, leading to an unfortunate outcome in battle. Later on, after purchasing takeout from Kenji's restaurant, Kuroitsu and Satomaki put the final touches on Wolf Bet, a fearsome wolfman who has been training within a virtual environment until his physical form can be completed. However, on the day his body is prepared, Wolf Bet discovers that it has been transformed into that of a wolf girl due to Akashic's impromptu request for a cute monster. This discrepancy between his physical appearance and his mental identity as a wolfman results in gender dysphoria. Subsequently, during the night, Wolf Bet launches an attack on the superhero Divine Swordsman Blader, who is revealed to be Kenji's secret alter ego, hoping to earn a substantial reward that would enable him to acquire the desired wolfman body. However, their confrontation ends in a stalemate as Kenji's lack of experience with women and Wolf Bet's humiliation at being stripped naked prevent them from engaging in a full-blown fight. Following Satomaki's unfortunate bout of food poisoning, Kuroitsu is compelled to take his position on a business trip to Kyushu, where she observes how a similar malevolent organization combats superheroes. Throughout the trip, Kuroitsu remains in close proximity to Megistus, amazed at his ability to compartmentalize his mind, effectively managing company tasks, testing various products developed by Agastia's partners, and resting all at once. Even during the night, Megistus demonstrates thoughtfulness by offering Kuroitsu his hotel room and working overnight at a nearby hostel. Back at Agastia's headquarters, Bet is officially assigned to the Monster Development Department as their latest assistant. Despite his disdain for the adorable wolf girl form he has been given, Satomaki unveils the department's newest monster proposal, the Cannon Thunderbird, a colossal bird-like creature equipped with railguns and thunder-based powers. However, due to the significant mechanical components involved, the team is compelled to collaborate with other departments within Agastia, in addition to adhering to the leader Akashic's capricious desires. During the development process, the Cannon Thunderbird, designed through committee input, undergoes downsizing until it is presented as a large talking bird donning a simple visor and headband. Unfortunately, the monster is easily vanquished by Blader in its initial battle, leaving Blader to question why Agastia did not create a towering mechanical marvel armed with a multitude of weapons. Kuroitsu faces a challenging situation as Blader easily defeats her latest creation, a Hydra. Originally, the design called for 8 additional heads and venom-spitting abilities. However, due to limitations in both budget and time, her department can only afford 1 extra head without the venom. During the same evening, Kenji contemplates the struggle of balancing his role as Blader with his part-time job in order to make ends meet. Kuroitsu attempts to improve the monster by giving it 2 additional heads, but the outcome remains unchanged. In an unexpected encounter at Kenji's restaurant, Kuroitsu unintentionally sparks a reminder within him of the original motivation behind his transformation into Blader. In the following week, she modifies the Hydra's design to include 4 extra heads. Meanwhile, Cannon Thunderbird experiences an existential crisis after facing a disappointing job interview. While working at the Agastia-affiliated Leafland amusement park, he comes to the aid of Hydra when she is assaulted by a duo of magical girls. Utilizing his gun and thunder-based powers, Cannon successfully repels the magical girls' attack. As a token of gratitude, Hydra expresses her appreciation by preparing a homemade lunch for Cannon the next day. Blader successfully overcomes a magnetically powered monster by relinquishing his sword and opting for a simple punch to its face. The subsequent day, Immortal Camula, an executive from Agastia, pays a visit to the Monster Development Department, issuing a threat to audit their work. In a desperate plea, Kuroitsu implores Camula for the loan of some pluripotent cells, but Camula effortlessly fends off the department before departing. Later that evening, while attending an idol show for inspiration on her next monster creation, Kuroitsu coincidentally encounters Camula, who is also present at the show. Camula confesses her secret fandom, enthusiastically collecting the group's merchandise whenever possible, while Kuroitsu attempts to console her. The following day, Kuroitsu returns to her department equipped with pluripotent cells obtained from Camula by using her handkerchief. Subsequently, Kuroitsu takes Bet and Akashic to Leafland for an inspection of the amusement park. However, Akashic and Bet are primarily interested in playful activities, while Kuroitsu focuses on assessing the performance of the park's monsters. Wolf Bet engages in a confrontation with a rival organization's monster, White Alligator. As a result, Akashic obliterates the rival creature beyond recognition, prompting the Monster Development Department to endeavor in recreating it before the rival group discovers the loss and retaliates against Agastia. The Monster Development Department embarks on an arduous journey, traversing great distances to locate various secret lairs belonging to different Agastia executives. Their objective is to obtain the executives' official stamps of approval for their creation. After several days of diligent effort, they successfully collect all the stamps, only to receive news from the General Affairs Department that 2 of the stamps are deemed ineligible and must be resubmitted. Subsequently, Dr. Hone and her monster, Elbucky, representing the rival organization Black Lore, pay a visit to Agastia's Monster Development Department in order to align their narratives following the destruction of their white alligator creature by Akashic. Surprisingly, Elbucky finds herself drawn to Wolf Bet. In a surprising revelation, Kuroitsu discovers that Hone was actually Satomaki's classmate during their high school years. During their discussion, Hone unintentionally exposes that Black Lore operates as a black company, subjecting its employees to unpaid overtime work and denying them paid vacations, in stark contrast to Agastia's practices. Upon learning about the financial gains and prestige associated with Valentine's Day, Kuroitsu seizes the opportunity to propose a chocolate-based monster to the Agastia board, highlighting its potential profitability. Both Megistus and Akashic expressed their approval of the idea. Subsequently, Akashic pays a visit to the Monster Development Department to provide training to Kuroitsu and Wolf Bet in the art of chocolate making while simultaneously working on a new monster creation. Eventually, they successfully bring to life a monster named Melty, inspired by the theme of chocolate. However, an unfortunate revelation emerges that the chocolate they acquired from a vendor contains embedded metal pieces. Fearing damage to Agastia's reputation, Megistus adamantly refuses to unleash Melty in a battle against Blader. With no time available to craft a replacement monster, Kuroitsu resorts to offering Blader a basket filled with the chocolate they produced, accompanied by a cautionary warning to avoid consuming the remnants of Melty. Kenji receives the gift with great delight. In a different setting, Hone devises a plan to arrange a friendly sparring match involving her latest monsters, utilizing psychological attacks against Agastia's Wolf Bet and Hydra. Her intention is to salvage her own standing within Black Lore. However, both of Black Lore's monsters unwittingly find their attacks backfiring due to the unique characteristics of their opponents. Meanwhile, at Black Lore's headquarters, Bullhead employs his fear-inducing assault on the Red Mantle General, ultimately leading the latter to promptly resign from Black Lore. After work, the Monster Development Department, including Camula, whom Kuroitsu invited out of guilt, goes to a drinking party, while the rest of the group gets intoxicated and displays various reactions. Kuroitsu and Satomaki engage in a work-related conversation. The next morning, Wolf Bet wakes up in Kuroitsu's bed. Feeling the effects of a hangover, Kuroitsu wakes up later and dresses Wolf in spare clothes, which annoys him, as he dislikes being perceived as a little sister by Kuroitsu. They later have lunch together at a nearby rooftop garden, where Kuroitsu shares her ambition of becoming an executive at Agastia someday. After lunch, some thugs confront Wolf Bet, but before he can retaliate, Kuroitsu intervenes and defeats them herself, revealing that she acquired fighting skills to deal with certain company executives. She then informs Wolf Bet that she sees him not as a little sister but more as a daughter, which angers him in various ways. Agastia combatants' recruitment drive is organized by Megistus. Under the orders of their sponsor's executive, Yudo and Ryo assume their magical girl identities and secretly infiltrate the event. Yudo becomes anxious as Ryo impressively responds to the interview questions. However, Megistus declines to hire them due to their underage status and astutely exposes their true intentions as infiltrators. The magical girls launch an assault on Megistus, but he skillfully evades their attacks using his ice powers and vanishes. Upon Yuto and Ryo's departure, Megistus resumes the recruitment drive. Meanwhile, Kuroitsu and Wolfbet unleash their newest monster, Bandersnatch, to confront Blader. Once its initial form is defeated, Bandersnatch transforms into a massive wolf-like creature, evading Blader's assaults. The monster nearly triumphs until Blader unexpectedly reveals his second form. Donning a blue suit with a sharper sword, Kuroitsu feels remorseful for not anticipating Blader's new form, but Megistus arrives to uplift her spirits. Satomaki mentions a potential worst-case scenario where Blader may summon a colossal robot in the future. Wolfbet eagerly considers developing a gigantic monster to combat it, but Kuroitsu discloses the exorbitant costs associated with such an endeavor. Later, Kenji ponders the voice within his suit that informed him about Blader's second form, just as his brother, Dr. Satomaki, returns home. During a brainstorming session, the Monster Development Department discusses the idea of creating a monster capable of submerging Blader underwater. Akashic overheard their conversation and seizes the opportunity to suggest going to the beach. Taking advantage of the occasion, the department plans to test their monster's aquatic abilities, while Camula convinces Arachne to join her reluctantly for some beach fun. Wolfbet and Cannon engage in an intense battle in the water, but suddenly Cannon's electronic systems malfunction. The rest of the group attempts to bring Cannon back to the shore when Akashic demonstrates her incredible strength by splitting the sea, creating a dry pathway for Cannon. The following day, Megistus reprimands Akashic for drawing excessive attention to herself and Agastia. Later, after a successful day at work, Kuroitsu decides to unwind by visiting a nearby pub. However, upon entering, Kuroitsu discovers that the majority of the patrons, including the owner, are former supervillains and superheroes reminiscing and lamenting about their past glory days. 10. Blader becomes the target of Kuroitsu and Wolfbet's latest monster, Mummy. However, Mummy's attention is diverted when she spots an advertisement for a pop idol group. Suddenly, she abandons the fight and later returns to the Monster Development Department, expressing her desire for idol training. Under the guidance of Wolfbet as her trainer, Mummy embarks on dance and exercise lessons. Despite her earnest attempts, Mummy struggles to sing due to her combat-oriented design, lacking proper vocal cords. After unintentionally hurting Wolfbet and fleeing, Mummy is confronted by Camula, who injects her throat with her own cells, resulting in the growth of a new voice box just in time for Mummy's debut as an idol. Following a successful performance, Mummy, Wolfbet, and Kuroitsu realize that the producer who has been assisting them all along is none other than Megistus himself. Meanwhile, Kenji senses something familiar about this newfound idol. Agastia's executives, including Kuroitsu and Wolfbet, participate in an employee retreat set in the mountains, although Wolfbet observes that the number of actual employees present is quite low. During the retreat, Wolfbet encounters Scylla, the Black Beast transformation executive, whose body served as the model for his own. However, Scylla perceives Wolfbet solely as an adorable wolf girl and persistently attempts to involve him in intimate situations, while the executives strive to enjoy themselves. A small faction of superheroes known as the Assassin Rangers employs guerrilla tactics in an endeavor to eliminate the Agastia executives, only to face their own setbacks. To salvage their pride, the group summons a second-hand giant robot but is ultimately defeated by Fafnir, the Cursed Dragon executive. Later that evening in Tokyo, Karen Mizuki encounters Akashic, who feels frustrated about being excluded from the trip by the other executives. To uplift their spirits, they engage in an online game together. The following day, Akashic introduces Karen and her supervisor, Heike, as Agastia's newest executives. On their first day as Akashic's personal assistants, Karen and Heike find themselves immersed in work when Akashic receives an urgent call. The villainous organization known as Z-Arc aims to acquire Agastia, intending to expand their influence into Asia. Due to the delayed response from Megistus and Akashic regarding Z-Arc's offer, Z-Act, their leader, decides to launch an attack on Agastia's assets, initiating a hostile takeover. As Z-Arc's monsters clash with Agastia's creatures, Black Lore and the Peleomagia girls lend their support to the battle. However, Z-Act personally enters the fray, leveling the playing field with his formidable battlesuit and reinforced Z-Arc troops. Just when defeat seems imminent, Megistus unveils Agastia's achievement of uniting heroes and villains from all across Japan to stand together against Z-Arc's forces. The conflict is framed as an honorable struggle against those lacking honor. Rather than a simple clash between good and evil, Blader takes a bold stand to confront Z-Act but is swiftly overpowered. In a pivotal moment, Dr. Satomaki and Home provide Kuroitsu with a device that enables her transformation into Black Blader, while Blader himself assumes his second form. By combining their powers, they succeed in obliterating Z-Act. After the battle, Kuroitsu realizes that the Black Blader outfit cannot be removed without a software update. In the end, Blader discovers that his crush has ties to Agastia when she appears as a customer, this time clad in the Black Blader suit.
I hope you liked the recap. If so, don't forget to subscribe and like it.